On this week's edition of The Overtime, NAU football and volleyball seasons draw to a close, but not before making playoff appearances. NAU men's basketball has also been on a roll, recording 2 wins in the past 2 weeks. Then, Coconino High football advances in the 4A state playoffs, along with the Flagstaff High boys cross-country team taking yet another Division II state title. Finally, an inside look on Flag High's quarterback Chase Brown and his journey to recovery. All that and more on this edition of The Overtime. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of The Overtime. I'll be your host, Brooklyn Grizzell, and today I'm joined by Catherine Lemish making her on-desk debut. Catherine, tell me, are you excited to be on the show tonight?
Absolutely, Brooklyn. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I can't wait to dive into all the action with you, so let's hop right in.
Let's do it. Did you happen to catch the NAU football game on Saturday?
How could I miss it? Did you see those 2 interceptions by Jalen Wesley?
Yes, I did. Catherine, it felt like deja vu seeing Colby Katzitz in the end zone again and again. The win was not an easy one, but that only makes it more impressive. It looks like NAU sports have been on fire lately. Women's volleyball is undefeated at home, and their most recent game was definitely a memorable one, with the second set going all the way to 44 points. Welcome back. Our NAZ sports reporters had their first Get Out There trip of the semester. Adriana Sparks has more on Volte Arch.
Now, Brooklyn, you were at the game. What were your thoughts on it?
Yes, I was, Connor, and it was a nail-biter to say the least. The Panthers' defense had to quickly adapt to quarterback Talon Curry-Smith's passing abilities early on in the first quarter. After a Wildcat touchdown just 3 minutes into the game, the Panthers were not slow to respond, with senior quarterback Jake Hanley throwing for 6 just 5 minutes later. The second quarter followed suit with the Wildcats scoring first and the Panthers not too far behind. It was a score-for-score thriller and neither team let up until the clock ran out. The Panthers' defense was ultimately too overpowering for the Mesquite Wildcats, who camped on Coconino's 7th-yard line until the last second. Panthers head coach Gary Cook expressed that in order to win their next game, they have a lot to clean up, as this game was a lot closer than anticipated. The Panthers' home win advanced them to play their rivals, Bradshaw Mountain, tomorrow in Prescott Valley. Thanks, James. NAU will be looking for a win this weekend in order to climb back into the FCS playoff conversation. The Bears will be lining up in the Sky Dome after 3 consecutive losses.
The Lumberjacks are hungry for a win, especially after the close loss last weekend. The energy will be high since it is also homecoming weekend, and Coach Wright expects the Dome to be packed with Lumberjack pride.
As always, coverage of the homecoming matchup versus the Bears will be available right here on The Overtime. Now, let's take a look at NAU volleyball. The Lumberjacks have been sitting comfortably at the top of Big Sky rankings for the past several weeks. The Lumberjacks beat both the Montana Grizzlies and the Montana State Bobcats this past weekend. Sports reporter Lydia Schweiders has the story. Thanks, Connor. The Lumberjacks played a hard game on Friday night against Weber State, coming out in a 1-1 draw for their senior night matchup. Although it wasn't the outcome they had hoped for, Coach Alan Barrios expressed his utmost respect for the hard-working seniors on the team. The Lumberjacks will be back on the road tomorrow against Eastern Washington and then again on Sunday against the Idaho Vandals to finish out their regular season. As of right now, the Lumberjacks are sitting at number 8 in the Big Sky standings. However, they hope to climb to at least number 6 in order to qualify for the Big Sky tournament. That's it for soccer. Back to you, Connor. I am standing here at Chase Field where the New Mexico Lobos and the Minnesota Golden Gophers will take each other on for the very first time here at the 36th Rape Bowl. In an overtime thriller here at the 36th Annual Rape Bowl, the Minnesota Golden Gophers have defeated the New Mexico Lobos 20-17. NAU Lumberjacks defeated Cal Poly 35-27 in their last home game of the season, which also happened to be Senior Day. The Lumberjacks hope to receive an FCS playoff bid as they are still in the top 25 rankings. Brooklyn Grizzell, NAZ Sports. For the first time ever, the New Mexico Lobos will take on Minnesota Golden Gophers at the 36th Annual Rape Bowl right here in Phoenix. Minnesota is looking to extend their 8 bowl game win streak, which is currently the longest in the country. This year's Rate Bowl is a must-watch for a multitude of reasons. Chase Field, the home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, will switch from home runs to touchdowns as it is turned into a football field for this game. Just the day after Christmas, the Lobos and Gophers will suit up for their first ever matchup, which is sparking excitement amongst coaches and players. More specifically, University of Minnesota's coach PJ Fleck.
That's what bowl season's all about. I think when you talk about the Rate Bowl and everybody involved, they got it right. Because I think bowl games, sometimes you get repeat matchups, even from the same year, and fans are like, all right, been there, done that, already saw that. When you take two teams who have never played each other, I think that's what makes exciting for both fan bases. And then you put them in a warm destination like here, I think that's the best combination.
The Gophers have won 8 consecutive bowl games, however the Lobos are coming off of a very successful 9-win season. Now, both coaches have described their teams to be like family, but when Coach Jason Eck says it, he really means it. Jackson Eck, the Lobos' star linebacker who leads the team in tackles, is the son of Coach Eck and followed his father from the University of Idaho this past year. The duo earned both Coach of the Year and Co-Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West Conference this season. If quarterback Jack Lane, who also followed Coach Eck from Idaho, can stay true to his nearly 66% pass completion rate, the Lobos could give Drake Lindsey, Minnesota's quarterback who threw for more touchdowns and less interceptions than Lane, a run for their money. Brooklyn Grizzell, NAZ Sports. It seemed fitting that Colby Katzitz saved the best game of his career for his senior day. The senior wide receiver set a single-game career high with 148 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns, helping the NAU football team hold off Cal Poly 35-27 Saturday in the Sky Dome. Katzitz credits his success to his chemistry with junior quarterback Ty Pennington, who surpassed 5,000 career passing yards in Saturday's win to keep the Lumberjacks' playoff hopes alive.
I see something, I tell him, he sees something, he tells me, and we really try to, get those finer details in tune, and that's why we're able to go out and do what we do throughout the whole wide receiver core, not just me.
Katzitz was also named Big Sky Co-Offensive Player of the Week, his second week in a row receiving recognition. The Lumberjacks jumped out to a 22-10 lead late in the second quarter, but the Mustangs grabbed momentum with a Hail Mary touchdown pass just before halftime. Nonetheless, the Lumberjacks responded with an explosion out of the locker room, as the team was not ready to back down for their last home game. Katzitz scored his third touchdown just 2 minutes into the third quarter, putting NAU up 29-17. Cal Poly cut the lead to 1 score and was driving deep in Lumberjack territory when senior Jalen Wesley grabbed his second interception of the game with just over 2 minutes left, putting an end to the Mustangs' fight. Head coach Brian Wright says it was important for him to give back to the seniors who have done so much for the program.
It meant an incredible amount to go out with those guys at home today with a win. It was the number one mission that we threw up on the board in our Sunday meeting, that we're going to battle for these guys. Our program is about service and always doing something for somebody else in the teamwork, but it was pretty special.
But it's not goodbye yet for the seniors. NAU will travel to Utah to take on Weber State with a playoff spot on the line. Brooklyn Grizzell, NAZ Sports.